Well, I chose this program after doing some research. I found that it's a new field that is multidisciplinary, that combines not only understanding of how societies work, but it uses data in a unique way to answer a lot of unanswered questions in the world that we are living in. So it could be about the organization, where the world is going, and how we make decisions as consumers, as citizens. So it was a very interesting program from that, and the most interesting thing was the fact that it was multidisciplinary, and that really caught my eye. And so doing my research, I found this program. So the average week would look like something like this, that mostly we're giving a seminar assignment. So we need to read up some papers and absorb what the previous research has been about, what are different areas that have contributed toward a specific topic, consolidate that information, and generally it's a group setting where the seminars are held. So we talk to each other, share some insights, and in the class, whenever there is a seminar class, we share that information among each other in a discussion format. And that's very interesting, learning from each other and sharing different insights that one has captured, maybe the other one hasn't. Generally, it is extensive reading, so it is better to have groups and discussions that facilitate more better understanding of the knowledge. Yes. A typical project work is firstly around understanding the problem we are trying to solve. The program that we are part of is Computational Social Science, and the most important thing is, what are we trying to solve? What's the end question that we are answering? And that's where we start from. A project work generally looks like a practical solution or an analysis that helps answer a particular research question. So firstly, you need to do some research around what you're interested in and what is the prior research saying. You make some hypotheses and do some analysis to present your case, whether you have found it to be correct or incorrect. But generally it is around understanding what the previous research is, doing your analysis and combining them together to come up with some conclusions. Well, the most interesting thing that I like about my program is the fact that it is multidisciplinary. I need to do this again. The best thing I like about this program is the fact that it is multidisciplinary. It looks at society from a different lens and from different structures. So it would see society as a network of individuals, as a complex structure. It looks at society from a system perspective. It looks at society from organization, actors, who have different type of interactions, who have different objectives, goals. And so it kind of like, it builds up a whole database of looking at things from a very unique point of view that I didn't have before. Yeah. The subjects that really interest me are the courses that I'm doing in my third semester right now. They are the Dynamics of Organization and the Culture Market course. They put together the type of analysis we have learned before and show us from an application point of view as to how we can use these previous research and application methods to solve different kind of problems in different environment settings. So one is related to the organization side, which talks about different actors, industries, how they work together. And the culture market course was around how societies operate from different lenses as to what changes their values and how can we measure them, what impact does it have, what is collective insight, and all these different ideas. So these courses have been sort of the pinnacle of the master course for me. Well, I'm really interested in doing research. Generally, I would prefer a role that is more research oriented. So even if I'm working for a consulting firm, I would like to do some research alongside. But generally, I would like to carry on with my research endeavors in this field. So I would say it's research. I think I'll do this again. The dream job for me would be carrying on with the research work. It has been very interesting journey to find out different kind of ideas that I can work on that are closely aligned with the consulting work that I did before joining this program. So I would like to continue the research work, maybe in a PhD program, even if I didn't have a formal academic research opportunity. I would like to work for a private research firm, maybe. The best thing about studying at LiU has been the way the campuses have been arranged. They're full of facilities. There's access to library. There's access to studying places. There's a collaborative environment. The staff is very facilitative. And I mean, you have everything that is accessible to be in a comfortable situation to just focus on your studies and get the most out of your time that you're investing into this. My recommendation for those who are arriving or who are going to arrive soon would be that they should understand how the Swedish society works. They should learn about Sweden. What are the different values, what are different institutions, how do they work together, and they should try to understand how they can be part of the system. Only then they can be able to focus on their studies, because definitely when you come over here, there's this learning curve that you need to invest time into learning how the language works, what are different systems before you even settle in, and that it takes up at least 2 to 3 months in order to get to know. So the more you invest in understanding the people, the culture, even talk to the people who are already living over here, it's better to have like a prior expectation before you come over here, so that you take less time to adjust and focus more time on your studies. What made me choose Sweden? It was actually a thought process that I invested some time before I made this decision. Firstly, the degree that I was interested in it's very new, and it was very interesting to see that Sweden has this option, so I could go for it. I had some friends who have actually gone through the graduation process over here. So I knew that they had received quality education. And an alternate choice would have been going for US, for example, which I think after evaluation, since I come with family, was not really cost effective for me, and also it was a big change in terms of going from Pakistan to like in terms of distance and also settling. And the cost, as I mentioned. But in terms of looking at the quality of education, the Swedish values around education, and also coming across previous colleagues who have gone through the process, I decided that it's better to opt for Sweden rather than, for example, US or UK in that regard. When I chose my program, I had 2 options to go with. One was in another city, and one was LiU. But once I looked at the fact that LiU was actually more invested in this subject, because they already have a department that's studying these aspects, so it's not just really presenting a master's program, but it also is invested in doing research in the area. That was a very differentiating factor for me to decide LiU over any other university.